Hi everybody, this is On Air, my Beatles collection. Today I'm going to talk about a box set, another CD bootleg box set if you will. You may have seen some of the earlier videos with the American archives. This one is the Canadian and Australian archives. So that's the front of the box. And that's the back of the box. And that's the empty box because I took the CDs out, so it would be a little easier to handle them. So there's 12 CDs in this box. 8 of them are Canadian, 4 of them are Australian. So let's start with this one. This is the Twist and Shout, and this is the mono version of Twist and Shout. Show you the back. Hopefully you won't have too much glare. And they come in these black inner sleeves. And here's the capital of Canada. You can see it says mono on there. And in the American Archives boxes that I've shown you already, generally each album had all the tracks in mono and then all the tracks in stereo. In this particular set, there's a separate package here and a separate disc for the stereo version. So again, black paper sleeve, and as you'll see on the label here, it specifically says stereo on this one. Again, that's the Capital Canada color band. Next title is With the Beatles. I'm trying to cut the glare for you. And this is also the mono version of With the Beatles. And here's the CD for that one. So guess what's coming next? The stereo version of With the Beatles, Beatlemania. Same back. Of course, different catalog number there. And again, the black sleeve. And again, the Capital Canada label with stereo clearly marked on there. Now we go to the mono version of Long Tall Sally. Now, in the US, this cover was the Beatles' second album. Of course, it wasn't the second album in Canada, so they couldn't use that title. And there are the tracks there. Again, this is the mono version. First one up. Label. This one doesn't specifically say mono on it, but that's their mono catalog number. And of course, here comes the stereo. So again, same cover, but with the stereo catalog number. No difference on the cover, no difference in the tracks, just the stereo version. And this one, again, Capital Color Band label, again, specifically marked stereo. Now, there is a kind of an anomaly in this one. Here's yet another version of Capital Canada Long Tall Sally. This one is also stereo. However, this one has a latter day replica of the purple Capital label. I'm not sure if this was remastered or if there's anything different besides the label itself. I haven't listened to them in a side-by-side comparison, the stereo to the stereo, but it's entirely possible that it could be a different version. I don't really think so. Then, of course, eventually they got to meet the Beatles in Canada as well. So it's basically the same album as was released as Meet the Beatles in the US. And this one is stereo only. Again, Capitol Color Band. And that's all the Canadian discs that are in this particular box. And then the remaining ones are Australian. So here's one. So this is the number ones, and there's 23. In the US, this was 20 greatest hits with this same cover. You can see the art in there. The lettering is actually photographs, and it's it looks like the Beatles, but it's photographs within that. And this has the 23 tracks that I assume these 23 tracks all went to number one in Australia. So that's and there's a couple of different versions of that throughout the world, because there were different number ones in different parts of the world. So anyway, I have the US version, I have a UK version, and on CD I now have a Australian version. And this is what the number one's CD itself looks like. So it's the Parlophone Australia label. Here's one that most people identify with Australia in terms of their releases. The Essential Beatles. This is a nice little compilation. There are 16 songs on here, from Love Me Do up to Let It Be. I'll show you the disc. Again, the black paper sleeve, but in this case, got an Apple label. So that's a nice little set. Love Me Do, Boys, Long Tall Sally, Honey Don't, P.S. I Love You, Baby You're a Rich Man, All My Lovin', Yesterday, Penny Lane, Magical Mystery Tour, Norwegian Wood, With a Little Help from My Friends, All You Need Is Love, Something, Obla Di Obla Da, and Let It Be. To my knowledge, that's the only combination of those 16 songs anywhere in the world. It's a unique set. It's a nice group of songs. A couple of B-sides like Baby You're a Rich Man. But a nice listen, a nice variety, and it's a career spanning from Love Me Do to all the way to Let It Be. The next few in here, the last two, a little bit odd to find them in this particular box, but these are Australian versions of. This is Paul's Family Way soundtrack. This was a find. I happen to have the album, the LP, but this was a find. This is the Australian cover, and this was on Decca in Australia. This is in a white paper sleeve, and that's what the label looks like there. So it looks like a nice vintage kind of a label. I don't know how many of you have heard this soundtrack. Paul doesn't sing on it at all, but he did write some of the music. So music by Paul McCartney. I don't recall how many actual titles are on this. I want to look at it again and see what's on the label. It doesn't say. It just says original soundtrack from the film, music composed by Paul McCartney. So I don't recall how many tracks there are, and I'm certain that he doesn't sing on any of them. And then last but definitely not least is this. The Beatles live at Festival Hall. Maybe the or one of the best live performances of the early Beatles career. There's the track list there. I want to pause that if you want to read all those tracks. This is a great CD. I was so happy to get this. I have never actually seen the Festival Hall bootleg anywhere, and when I got this box, now I've had this box a couple of years, so I don't want to imply that it's brand new. I've had it for a couple of years, and I have several different box sets that contain these either albums that were never on CD, or in some cases bootlegs that were never legitimately released on vinyl or CD. I had never seen this before in any prior configuration, but I was real happy to get it in this box set. And I assume that it was legit, legit release in Australia on vinyl, and it shows here as a Parlophone label. So I don't think it was an unreleased bootleg. I think the CD is a bootleg, obviously, but I don't believe that that this album was. But I really don't know. So if somebody knows, tell me in the comments what the story is with this particular release, and if you're in Australia, and I know we have some group subscribers in Australia. Let me know if you have a recollection of this as a legit release, either on vinyl or CD. But that's the only version I've ever seen. I have another box set that's all live performances from around the world, across the whole Beatles live career, and there are Festival Hall tracks on there. There might even be a whole CD of Festival Hall tracks, but I've never seen this configuration with that label and that cover. So again, this is a great little box. I've been going through all of them. You'll see some more. I have one that's German that I'll be going through soon. I have another one that's about Latin America. So there's a lot of Hispanic Spanish titles on the labels, on the covers, on the song titles. So that's unusual for most people in the UK and the US that got the English language print. Of course, the music is in English, but the print on many of those is in Spanish. Most of them are from Mexico. Some of them are from other parts of Latin America. So I'll be going over that box soon as well. So anyway, again, this is Canada and Australian Archives. And that's it for today. So good to see you, folks. Thanks for coming back. Please like, please comment. Again, if you know something more about some of these, let us know in the comments. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Please subscribe. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye.